In the legends, there is a wishing star that fell from the sky into the dark forest, giving it new life. At the center of the forest is the wishing star, waiting for any fortunate fellow to be granted any wish he or she wants. In a mansion in the city of Del Mar, a certain famous superstar is called upon by the audience to the stage. He is an outlaw, a fearless and brave cat by the name of Puss in Boots. The people urged him to sing. Throughout the land, he is admired by everyone for his death-defying adventures. Suddenly, the governor who owns the mansion comes back home just to see his place ransacked by the people of Del Mar and by Puss in Boots. He got mad and demanded his soldiers to arrest everyone, especially Puss in Boots. Agile Puss, however, just parried everything without much effort. He boasts that he has never been touched by any blade before. He incapacitates all the soldiers of the governor without hurting them. While singing and dancing, Puss even fired some fireworks to make the party even livelier. But this action awoke the sleeping giant of Del Mar. The pissed giant rushes towards everyone and kidnaps some people. Of course, our hero Puss in Boots immediately sprang into action. He's loaded into a guitar that sends him flying, instantly catching up to the giant. He gives the giant a splinter in one of its fingers and it throws him back to the city. Puss in Boots, however, is not hurt and he just comes back to finish the giant by knocking it with the giant bell of Del Mar. The giant drops to its feet and Puss smoothly ends the party. Everyone cheers for him and he is about to sing another song when suddenly the bell that was hanging on the giant drops on him. Puss wakes up in the infirmary groggy but otherwise still fine. The doctor informs him of how he should be careful with his life as they recount how many times he already died. The first is being run over by bulls. The doctor gravely informs him that he is on his final 9th life. The doctor wrote an address directing him to Mama Luna where he can be safe. But our proud cat says he just laughs in the face of death and he leaves the infirmary. He visits a pub grumbling about the doctor while drinking. The bartender informs him they are about to close but Puss insists on another order. As he mutters to himself, he hears a whistling noise from somewhere. Looking around, he's shocked to see a big hooded wolf suddenly appear beside him. The wolf engaged in conversation with him, saying he is a big fan of Puss. Something doesn't feel right about the wolf, so Puss moves a few inches away. But the wolf says he has been following Puss for a long time and he really wants his autograph. He ominously shows him his wanted poster and asks Puss to sign it. Puss understands that the wolf before him is a bounty hunter and he laughs as he says that he will not be easily defeated. But the wolf just calmly informs Puss that no one has ever managed to escape from him. Puss, not wanting to waste any more time, aimed his saber. He is shocked because he is immediately disarmed by the wolf. He gets serious and lunges at the wolf. But the wolf seems to be better as it dodges every attack by Puss. Puss did his spinning signature move but the wolf just caught him effortlessly. It's finally the wolf's turn to attack and it manages to wound Puss. He realizes that the wolf is someone who can kill him. And with lives flashing before his eyes, Puss runs away by escaping from the bathroom. He runs to the woods, following the address to Mama Luna's house. He gets to the place, ashamed and downhearted. He cries as he buries his clothes and his signature boots, signaling the end of his adventures. Adjusting to the new life is not easy for Puss. The mittens are not comfortable, the food is not good, the other cats are not friendly, and he is forced to relieve himself in the cat potty with the other cats. It's tough for Puss, but he soon adjusted and is living with the other cats amenably. He even grew a beard. Meanwhile, Goldilocks with Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear are on the trail looking for the scent of Puss. They pass through the city of Del Mar on the lookout for signs of Puss trails. At lunch with the other cats, Puss meets a dog pretending to be a cat. His name is Perito. Upon discovering that Puss can also talk unlike the other cats in Mama Luna's house, Perito excitedly conversed with Puss. Puss lethargically answers questions from Perito, but this makes Perito even want to know more about him. Perito even goes so far as to call Puss his friend. They share a secret about his identity as a dog. A few days pass when the bears find Mama Luna's house. Goldilocks and the bears are also hot on their tail, using their incredible sense of smell. Jack Horner, on the other hand, uses a crystal ball that locates Puss's gang. Night comes and the cats finally arrive at the entrance to the dark forest. Puss tries putting his hand in the magical door, but to their surprise, his hand disappears. Fortunately, it magically grew back. Because he is not sure what is on the other side, he kicks Perito, who lets out a scream. Kitty then brings him with her and they enter through a portal. When Puss opens his eyes, the dark forest turns out to be colorful and bright. Puss wants to see the map for himself and uses his cute eyes to charm Kitty. However, Kitty also has the same skill. They battle over who is cuter, which overloads Perito and knocks him out. They look at the map together, and when Puss touches the map, their surroundings change into a fiery hot forest with dangerous paths ahead of them. And when Kitty touches it, the map changes into a poisonous swamp forest. Perito then asks if he can try touching it, which changes the destination into a bright and colorful forest yet again. Perito doesn't want to impose because he doesn't have a wish of his own. But the cats insist that the road is easy when he holds it. At the same time, the bears drop from the same portal. The cats hurriedly run away. Minutes later, they get blocked by giant roses. Kitty tried cutting it, but it just grew more of itself. Perito, on the other hand, smells the roses. He tells the cats that the way to the forest is to enjoy themselves and appreciate the things in front of them. The cats cringe as they ask why their path is so corny. Perito tells them that when he was younger, he and his siblings played a game of hide-and-seek and he was always it. One day, they tried to be more creative and stuffed him in a sock with a rock in it and threw him in the river. Perito laughs as he tells the story, not even realizing that his siblings just tried to murder him. Kitty pities him and says he's the most deserving of the wish. But Perito declines and says he already has two best friends beside him. Meanwhile, the bears and Jack Horner are just behind them. Jack Horner pulls out Excalibur from his bag and smacks the bears to the side. They arrive at the field of roses, which blocks their way. Some of it even ate his men. He pulls out yet another item from his bag, which turns to be a grasshopper. Apart from talking, it doesn't have much use, so he gets the phoenix and uses it as a flamethrower. Puss and Kitty gained a lot of pace and they are currently in the river of relaxation. Kitty tells Perito why he is so trustful if it only gets him a sock, a stone, and a swim in a river. Trusting for Kitty was so bad she was declawed, double-crossed, and betrayed. Kitty advises him to never trust anyone. Puss, on the other hand, is suffering from the itchiness of his beard and was trimmed by Kitty, as Puss throws away his sword stick in exchange for the knife given by Kitty. Perito chases after it. They follow Perito, but Jack comes out taking the dog hostage. The bears also arrive, making the situation more chaotic. They fight each other as Jack uses his crossbow fitted with unicorn horns that turn anyone hit into confetti. In the middle of it all, Puss's hair stands on end as he hears the whistling of the wolf. The panic-stricken Puss runs away from the battlefield and Perito chases after him. The bears then steal the map and the landscape changes once again. When Perito catches up to Puss, he lays his head on his tummy and comforts him. He explains to Perito that he badly needs that wish because he is down to his final life. Perito suggests telling Kitty, but Puss opposes it as he knows Kitty will no longer trust him after the incident in Santa Coloma. Turns out, they were about to wed, but he got scared and ran away. He tells him that he deeply regrets hurting Kitty. This was all heard by Kitty, who smartly calls out to them. The bears are now ahead and they discuss how they are going to be a big-time syndicate. The map suddenly vanished, which made Baby and Goldilocks fight, but it then reappeared. Along with that, a cabin pops in front of them. It looks very similar to the one they have. The bears unanimously agree that they are home. Goldilocks tries to tell them it is just a trick, but they do not listen and relax comfortably. In the other part of the forest, the cats climb up a high tree and see the cabin where the bears currently rest. Jack Horner also uses his crystal ball to spy on both parties. He contemplates if he should wait for the cats to steal the map or just catch everybody all at once. The grasshopper tells him that he doesn't value life. What does he wish for anyway? Jack tells him that he wishes for all the magic in the world. At the same time, Puss and Kitty infiltrate the cabin while Perito stays outside. Puss easily steals the map from the sleeping bears, but Goldie, who was awake at that time, sees the map gone. The map is passed to Kitty, who touched it to change the terrain. Goldie used her staff and pins the map away from Kitty, which made the hut halfway disappear. Amidst the flying utensils and stone blocks, Puss and Kitty are surrounded by the bears. But through a synchronic dance move by the cats, they defy physics and get a hold of the map. The terrain changes again while Perito is captured and Kitty and Puss are separated by crystal blocks. Inside the crystal dome, Puss sees 8 reflections of his previous lives. They enjoy themselves and sing a song about the fearless hero. Puss asks them for help on how to help his friends, but the mirror versions just tell him he doesn't need them to get his wish. They mock him that he became a scaredy cat and is even friends with a dog. He gets angry and is just about to leave. Out of nowhere, the wolf appears and smashes the crystals. He tells Puss that he was there to witness all of his death. Puss finally realizes that the wolf in front of him is no bounty hunter. He is death, straight up. And he comes for Puss's ninth life, who didn't value his previous ones. He panics again and runs away even after Kitty and Perito call for him. He finally makes it to the location of the wishing star. Kitty berates him and tells him that he betrayed her for the third time. He explains that he is dying and needs that wish badly. Everyone also arrives at the place. They are again facing each other in this final stage. The star floats in the air as a force field activates that disintegrates anyone on it. Goldie is about to get the map when Jack sends Baby flying with his magic staff. At the last moment before he disappears, Goldie saves him with her staff. Meanwhile, Kitty fights Jack, who throws exploding apples. But because of her soft paws, she managed to hold one of the grenades without it detonating. He throws it back to Jack, immobilizing him. She then proceeds to kick him inside his bottomless bag. Just then, a whistling resonates throughout the whole place. And this time, everyone hears it. The wolf bypasses the barrier and comes inside. He uses his sickles to produce red flames that separate Puss with everyone. He challenges Puss to a duel. He even brings his sword with him. Finally having the courage, Puss faces death without relying on the wish. He gives his all in the fight and even lands some good hits. But death is not so easily defeated. The wolf again disarms Puss. But Puss still has the knife given by Kitty and he blocks the wolf's attack. The battle is fierce, but with courage and skill, Puss parries the wolf and tells him to pick up his weapon. He says that he knows he can never win against death, but he will never stop fighting for his own life. With a growl, Death tries to intimidate him, but Puss does not flinch. Disappointed, Death gives up as he comes for an arrogant cat who thinks he is immortal. But he is no longer arrogant and values his life already. He says he will see Puss some other time. The problem is not over yet as Jack appears from inside the bag, much bigger and meaner. He easily steals the map. As he is about to recite the incantation for the wish, Perito tries his hardest for the cute trick Kitty taught him. It was a distraction for the cats and bears to gang up on him. Together, they rip the map to shreds and escape as it turns into a beautiful explosion with Jack Horner inside. The movie ends and they watch as the stars light up the sky. In the final scene, the cats can be seen stealing a boat and traveling to far, far away.